What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another ONYXCON flip through. Today's presentation is extremely special because I'm going to share with you a very special commemorative program that was created for our 10-year anniversary celebration of the convention. The core of ONYXCON, the original reason we began. We began as a comic book convention and we have grown into so much more. And this is a look back at 10 years of ONYXCON. This book is 12.5 inches by 8.5. It's, pretty long, beautiful, very beautiful. This is the voice of Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, founder, and president of ONYXCON. Of course, I supervised the entire process of this coming together, and it was designed by good friends of ours at Black Canvas, B-L-A-Q-U-E, Canvas, like a painting canvas. They are still active, and they were kind enough. They were one of our partners that year, and they worked with me on designing this. And we had a good time doing it. I really loved the way it turned out. We didn't print too many of these, so if you were one of those very lucky people to get a hold of one, I know we charged for it, but we didn't. Most of them were just given away as gifts to some of our main supporters. But yeah, it's a heck of a commemorative piece if you were lucky enough to acquire one of these. And to this day, I still want to do a full yearbook style, a book basically doing what this book did, this booklet. I mean, this is very small. It's no more than 23 pages. It's like a standard comic book in length of pages. But I would love to do something that would be hundreds of pages long and really tell the story of ONYXCON. So I will say on camera, if you're a serious designer and your style matches what you see in this presentation of Flip Through, get in touch with us and let us know if you'd be interested in working with ONYXCON in the future, because we need a team to build that idea that I have about a yearbook style long book. I mean, something really long and detailed with essays and entries from myself and other people involved in the history of ONYXCON telling our story. So this is the very first ONYXCON flyer. I designed this myself. Like I say, the layout of this book was designed by the good folks over at Black Canvas, but everything you see in here is from the ONYXCON archives, whether I took the photos, Deborah D. Dawson took a lot of the photos that you'll see in here. I think she took this one right here of me in Masquerade for my character, Brother Yams. That's one of my good friends' son when he was a little boy. He might be a teenager by now. Ain't it amazing how time goes by? That's crazy. Oh my gosh, he was just a little baby boy. But yeah, shout out to Mike Reese, legendary photographer in Atlanta. That's Kevin Sipp, good friend of mine, a major artist, major arts ambassador in Atlanta, Georgia, originally from Florida. What's up, Sipp? It's my people right there. And as you can see on the stage here, this classic photo, yo, we were rolling deep. This was all from the very first ONYXCON, and we covered the whole stage in the theater with all these luminaries, all these artists of every facet of comic book creators, writers, you name it. They were on that stage, and we did a hell of a first presentation of what ONYXCON was all about. There's so many names to name. I'm not going to start because I don't want to miss anybody, but you know who you are. Much love forever. This is the second ONYXCON flyer. Yep, 2010. Again, we started in 2009. Long history. That is my artwork. That is my layout for that flyer. That is, those are excerpts from two different pieces of art. One is the alien fairy lady, this woman in the background of this backdrop, and the guy right here is Andre 3000, an ode to the love below. I did a special piece dedicated to that. Gifted that piece off to a good friend. Shout out to Stephanie Jones, family in the house, one of my main volunteers for ONYXCON, big supporter. Already, that's my little sis right there. You know what I mean? And she loves Andre, so I surprised her with that. This is not the full piece, like I said. It's just an excerpt from the piece. If you want to see the full piece, look it up. It is, I think it floats around. There's a few, you can look it up online and you might come across it. The Love Below art by Joseph R. Wheeler III. It's bound to pop up. This is me in regalia. masquerading as the conjurer of yams. That's what I called that manifestation. He's the conjurer of my character Yams. Like if Yams had a spiritual, for lack of a better word, just a shaman, so to speak. That would be what I was representing at that time. Taking it back, y'all. I know you may not be able to make it out in this photo, but I used to have a fro hawk. You know what I'm saying? I had the hawk out, and I would, and those elements you see in my hair were, I had a feather, I had, oh my gosh, I had these stems from dried kudzu roots, kudzu plant, yes. Going deep into the connection of nature. This thing about nature is nothing new. It's really about understanding we are one with it. We are not just, we are part of it, you know what I'm saying? It's not going into it, we are nature. So, you know, it's a big tie to that. And I did a performance on stage that year, had a manga African dance with us. It was incredible. This is ONYXCON 3. Now, the interesting thing about this book, I must say, in the process of making a book like this, sometimes the photos get out of order. Now, this one is in order. This is the original flyer for that year. I designed this flyer. I really am proud of this flyer. I always loved the way I used the colors to match the image, and the image is by the legendary Mashindo Kumba. If you know Mashindo's art, he is definitely a legend. Used to be a great part of ONYXCON. Once upon a time, had a very close connection to ONYXCON. He was good people for us. Forever in the day, man, we salute his art. It is what it is. Life goes on. This is another year of ONYXCON, and that's Donnie, soul singer Donnie, legendary R&B singer who performed at ONYXCON one year. But that is not 2003. I don't even know how these images got out of order like that, but it happens. And sometimes in the process of putting together something like this. But these are still, you know, tied in with different events from ONYXCON. My man Brian Abear, forever in a day, the homie from Los Angeles, legendary visual artist and teacher and arts administrator. He's over in Clayton County doing his thing with Clayton Arts right now as the head of one of their art facilities. Shout out to my man Brian Abear. That's Zeno Bathroom. When you see Zeno Bathroom written on any of our stuff saying who the music was, because there's two people I work with especially, is Zeno and my man Brandon Dunn, who AKA is Marco Majors. You'll see Marco Majors a lot. You'll also see Zeno Bathroom. That's Zeno right there. That's my dude. That's Dawood Anyabwile of Brother Man Comics, the illustrator, the originator. Oh my gosh, so many people. I don't want to forget names. Ooh, I know her name and I'm not thinking of it. And that is my former, that's my ex-wife, Mr. Yabo Shabazz. So shout out to all those good people that were once, in one way or another, in some cases, still a big part of ONYXCON. Zeno is still definitely down, and Dawood's still active. And even the other sister that I just can't think of her name right now, it's killing me. You know, supporters of ONYXCON, good people. ONYXCON 4. Yeah, this was our 4th year. This was another illustration by, so this is an interesting story to this one. It was illustrated by Mashindo, but it was a collaboration. I came up with this original idea. This is based on my character, Yams, as a train. And that's the idea that I shared with him. I did a sketch of it, of my character, Yams, as a mechanized train. And I wanted it to be on a planet like Saturn that has rings, but the train is traveling on the rings. This is the original idea I had. Sent it over to him to get it translated into his style, and this is what he came back with. It was absolutely incredible. It still is forever and a day. So that was the cover to our ONYXCON 4 official flyer. That same year we did what we call, I think this was the year we introduced, was that the year we introduced? I think that may have been the year we introduced ONYXCON Sankofa as an event. Because the year prior, we weren't calling it Sankofa yet, but it was still the same concept. It was ONYXCON's Atlanta Black Comic Book Days, because some friends of ours up in New York, Jerry Craft, shout out to Jerry Craft, Mama's Boys, syndicated cartoon strip, had done a thing with John Jennings and some other people. This is John right here, good friend of ONYXCON, great scholar, amazing human being. Shout out John. They had done an event up in New York, Black Comic Book Days. And Black Comic Book Days turned into the Black Comic Book Festival at the Schaumburg. So if you're in New York, you know about that event. I'm telling you some real history right now about how things come together. Started under one name, grew into another, and inspired by what they were doing around January, I said, I'm gonna do something for February because I think that's a great idea. We'll do something in Atlanta, and we'll try and make sure everybody's doing something in the movement wherever you are around that time, because people are in that headspace of Black history and everything. So we did that. That's when I created this image here. Sankofa Selectors. Still available, by the way. That piece of art is still available. That right there is still available for sale. If you're interested, hit us in the DMs, hit us in the inbox, ONYXCON@gmail. Let me know. It is for sale, and partial proceeds will benefit ONYXCON. Yes, indeed. So this was from a book event at the now closed, unfortunately, location of Barnes & Noble, one of the last in a Black community in Atlanta. It's really sad that that bookstore closed, but it was off of Camp Creek, in the Camp Creek Pavilion off Camp Creek Parkway, if you know Atlanta. And we did two signings actually there. This was the second one that we did for Black Comics, COMIX, the absolute Bible that you must have. I'll do a flip through of that book one day too, because you got to see Black Comics. There's two volumes of this, Black Comics Volume 1 and there's Black Comics Volume 2. I'm gonna do a flip through, hopefully of both of them, but I gotta do a flip through of the first one just so y'all can understand the power and importance of that book. But so many artists. That's Mace, James Mason, Dawood again, Brian McGee, Afua, and myself. Afua Richardson did illustrations for, I'll say she's done for a lot of stuff, but she's especially famous nowadays for having worked on Lovecraft Country. The young lady on the show who was an illustrator, if you watch Lovecraft, she was the one that drew all of the comic books that the young girl would be drawing. She was the actual understudy for that character. You feel? She drew the work. So shout out to Afua. ONYXCON 5, y'all. Yeah, this was a fun flyer to create. I got different on this one. I remember when I made this one, I wanted it to be super long and be more like almost like a bookmark. And had a lot of fun making that one. To this day, I'm still very proud of that layout. The illustration on this is Chris Miller, Chris Crazy House, another big supporter of ONYXCON, always been down. And the other flyer for that year, which was equally impressive and amazing, especially, this was another case of me teaming up with friends as artists with an original idea for my character, Brother Yams, as a mech. And I was thinking of him like a Voltron mech, playing off of Olmec heads. And this is literally more or less what I drew, and I did a pre-sketch, sent it to my good friend N. Stephen Harris. Shout out N. Stephen Harris in New York. He's the original penciler on this. He did the main drawing, and then digital coloring and inking by Chris Miller. So Chris submitted us an image for this, but he also did the colors on this. But N. Stephen Harris is the primary artist to have drawn this final image, and of course myself being the originator of the concept and the first drawings, the first sketches and everything. That same year we had my man Damian Portier. That's one of my homies to the forever, y'all. That's major, major love right there. Good people, incredible connection. I can't say enough about Damian, man. That's just a real dude right there. Damian's my brother forever. But he is the original Thanos. When you see Thanos at the end of the first Avengers film, before the role was turned CGI and they gave it to the brother who, oh my gosh, I'm getting my names right now, Josh Brolin, who of course plays Thanos in the other main, Avengers films and everything. But the originator in makeup before it was CGI, when you see the great turnaround, that was Damian. That was Damian Portier. So I interviewed Damian. We did it on screen at ONYXCON. It was amazing. That was 2013, ONYXCON 5. What an amazing year. Big turnout, big love, much respect. So many great people involved. Fitzroy James, caricature legend, from the Caribbean, Trinity to the bone. What's up, Trinidad and Tobago peoples? Yo, we got a lot of history at ONYXCON, y'all. A lot. This was a very sentimental illustration for another one of our classic flyers. And this one was completely illustrated and designed, the layout for the flyer, by Dawood Anyabuila. He did everything for me that year. It took a lot of weight off of my shoulders. I didn't have to lay it out. I just, hey, I came to him with an idea. I said, can you take Chris Miller's characters that he designed for ONYXCON, the Sankofa family, and illustrate them in your style. You know, like I just gave him free reign. I said, you can come up with a side story of who they're fighting and why. And he created these technological nightmares that are attacking the family. And as you can see, they're laying them to waste real easy. And it was just, I mean, just this one image is so powerful and layered that you're like, well, what's the rest of the story? I told him, I said, man, we could do a whole book off of just between you and Chris coming together, like taking his original idea for ONYXCON with this team, this family, which I teamed up with Chris on too. I helped name the characters and everything. So it was always a collaboration. And, you know, man, I'll say this on camera. I say, hey, you know, to Dawood, brother, if we ever find a time and means, we need to take this further, because that was incredible. What a year for that. So these are some other editions of some digital flyers that we had online on social media that Dawood laid out for us also that same year. And then also in 2014, we continued, as I said, we started and continued, usually in February, but this one year we had to do it in March. It didn't matter, because as we say, Black History Month is any month, all year long. So we did this ONYXCON Sankofa March 1st, 2014. And that was at the South Fulton Arts Center, another one of our connects. Usually we did it at Southwest Arts Center, sometimes South Fulton Arts Center, even also Wolf Creek Library was a major part of our development and a big venue collaborator. Then in 2015, look at this, oh my gosh. This is another classic flyer. This one was by none other than, of course, Chris Miller, Chris Crazy House, doing his thing, gave us an incredible image. And as you can see, Chris's style changes. I'll go back to that first one of Chris, so you can see he's got a lot of styles. Like it's got that cartoony thing, but he can do a serious style too. And then this one is still cartoon, but it's a little more blocky and edgy. If you really kind of notice what I'm saying, I call it the paper cut style, where things look kind of like paper sharp, you know. This one's a little more rounded, but all of these are the same artist. That's just how talented he is. He's got so many different styles. Shout out Chris. The layout on this was DTM. And yeah, that's 2015. We did the doggone thing. Another one, y'all. Another one. UAC Unk. Yes. This was my original art show. It was technically the last major one-man art show I ever did before going into film full throttle as an actor, writer, producer, which I've remained in to this day. And, you know, I never stopped drawing, but this was the last time I went and did a full collection of work, paintings, you know, for a show. It was an amazing opportunity. We did it at the Fulton County Arts location for the Aviation Community Cultural Center, which, if you know Atlanta, is off of Fulton Industrial Boulevard. It's an amazing space. If you haven't been by there, check them out. They always have an ongoing art show. Something will be up every time you go in there, definitely. And going back to 2015, this was my baby right here. This was a heck of a show. Can't say enough times, forever and a day, love to who I call the queen mother of black sci-fi, Miss Nichelle Nichols, who recently transitioned. And, you know, as an ancestor, you know, we forever salute you. I'm so glad I did this work before she was gone. And to this day, I'm not sure if she ever got a chance to see it. Of course, I sent it to her social media and whoever manages her affairs, hoping they would put it in front of her just so she could smile on it. And, you know, who knows if she saw it or not, but it just meant a lot to me to do that body of work. So that was the flyer for that. And it was, of course, promoted by ONYXCON, so it's in the book. ONYXCON 8, 2016. Levata E. O'Neill is the artist that did that. Incredible. Look at this. Woo! Levata E. O'Neill. She the truth, y'all. Fellow Virgo. What's up, Virgo fam? Yeah, she did the doggone thing. This is amazing. And I did the layout on this here for the flyer. So another shout out to an incredible artist and another great collaboration. These are scenes from that year. This was an amazing year, a fun year. I'm forgetting so many names. Oh, I hate doing this when I forget names, but I will shout out the sister right here, the Asian sister. She is from TOR Books, T-O-R. TOR produces a lot of sci-fi, fantasy, teen, and young adult books, and she got in touch with us. That was a very special moment because it made us realize even we've been getting a lot of love from major corporations and companies that see what we're doing and reach out and say, hey, we see there's a market for what we're producing, and we'd like to have a connection with ONYXCON. And it was a no-brainer. So she came through that year. She set up her table. She was a part of ONYXCON. Oh my gosh, the Organis team. That's who's with me in this photo with her. Their table, their whole setup was just amazing. Their T-shirts were so beautiful, and they had a lot of product beyond just comic books. Look them up. Amazing work. As you can see, we're a diverse event. We attract everybody. These beautiful children came out with their family, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's at ONYXCON. Everybody. We come together. We bring the community together, y'all. ONYXCON 9. What a year. 2017, y'all. Two, again, amazing illustrations for two different flyers. One was the incomparable, he's right here, Mr. Marcus the Visual of Tuskegee Airs. That's who illustrated this right here. This is another team up effort from a concept I had. I told Marcus, I said, I want you to illustrate my character, Brother Yams, my original character, with our avatar character, which is a shared and intellectual property with Brother James Mace Mason, and that is the Sankofa Lady of Sankofa Guard. Comic books are available right now. Look up Sankofa Guard. Okay, look them up on Instagram, Sankofa Guard. Look them up on Facebook. We out there. But he did her. He did my character, Yams. It speaks for itself. That's just dope. That's just dope. You look at that, you're like, yo, when is the anime coming out? Because that is like, it just looks like a scene from a already made film. And speaking of film imagery, another ONYXCON Yams mech character coming up out the ocean, like the history of certain robots of the spectrum of Japanese giant robot characters. I had this idea and I reached out to my friend again, and Stephen Harris came through again. He did the illustration on this, and again, Chris Miller did the inks and color digitally. Look at that. Look at that. And once again, you know, I did like some pre-sketches and said, here's my idea, man, flesh it out. And he fleshed it. What a beautiful image. Love it, love it, love it. We come with it, y'all. We come with it. We did a lot of homages, as we always do. We threw in this image just because we always shout him out. That is the original actor who was in the alien suit from the film Alien. A lot of people don't know this, but he is a Nigerian gentleman who unfortunately passed many years ago, but he was the first person to don the suit. You see me wearing my custom t-shirt that I had made with a famous image of him without the helmet on, wearing the suit. You know, these are the bygone heroes that we like to celebrate at ONYXCON. This is why we do Sankofa, okay? His name's Bolaji. Look him up, Bolaji. Yes, indeed. Nigerian brothers was the first to ever wear it. He was the first alien. A lot of people don't know this stuff. This is real history, y'all. That's why we do what we do. 2018, ONYXCON 10. 10 is what we celebrated through this whole book. And that was the year that Black Panther and Black Lightning came out. But some folks forget that both of those came out the same year. You had the TV show Black Lightning and you had Black Panther drop in 2018. So we celebrated that on the cover on the flyer and everything for ONYXCON Sankofa, which was at the Wolf Creek Library. Shout out again, Wolf Creek Library, Eden Road, you know. That's my people over there, Atlanta Fulton Public Library System, always representing, showing us much love forever and a day. That was an incredible year. And this final illustration, man, Eric Wilkerson. What an image, right? What an image. She's beautiful. And this was just an original illustration by him. It was not tied to ONYXCON. I reached out to him and asked permission to use it for the flyer. He granted us that, and I had him come and be a special guest at ONYXCON 10. So he was right at the door. If you came that year, you know you met him. what a legend to have in the space. So there you have it, people. That is a full flip through of this commemorative program from ONYXCON 10-year celebration. Hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned for more ONYXCON and subscribe. Thank you.